I'm pretty confident. I think he's going to do well against the Cowboys. He's got the particulars that you want. As long as he sticks to the game plan, and Shanahan, I'm sure, will prepare him properly. Dallas is really going to come out, and they're going to play against the system that we're running. They're not going to really worry too much about Beathard as far as what he can do or can't do. They're going to expect him to stay in the pocket, and I really think he's going to run. I think he's going to get outside the pocket a lot.
Are you listening?
Niners! Woo! Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire organization worldwide. And I invite you to do the same. Just go to theNinerEmpire.com for further details and information and become a part of our local family. Fam, I gotta tell you, hey, listen, first of all, I want to thank you for allowing me to come in and talk 49ers football with you. I look forward to this each and every week. I know I've been missing for a few weeks. I've been tied up with things I couldn't get away from, but here we are, getting ready to play them boys. Hey, fam, I've been on this campaign lately to make sure that everybody realizes I like C.J. Beathard. Yes, I do. This is my public apology just because people have misunderstood. Here's what I'm saying. All right, I'm talking huge fan of Kyle Shanahan. Whatever Kyle likes, Ronbo likes, okay? That is where we got off to a misunderstanding. So if Kyle says this guy's his guy, and this guy gives us the best chance going forward to win, that's who I'm gonna say is the man. I disagree with Kyle. And so Kyle said that about Brian Hoyer at the beginning of the season, so I says, hey, do not question Kyle Shanahan. So, and that's where the things got out of control, okay? But now, and it's funny because Trez pointed this out. Trez, is on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And what am I talking about? Trez is on all the time. When we do our shows live, Trez comes in, and Trez pointed it out. He says, Kyle Shanahan said Brian Hoyer was his boy. He said he gives us the best chance to win. And then he turns around and he says, CJ gives us the best chance to win. See, there I was. I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, all right. So that's what I'm saying. This is where it got off. Ronbo Sports is not the Brian Hoyer defense team, okay? So you know what? Next time you see me and you want to start in on that, I'm trying to tell you now, it ain't like that. I am a C.J. Beathard fan, yes. I'm looking forward to what he does this weekend because C.J. wrote in, man, dude was playing some hardcore football. C.J. got down off his horse and he brought us back into that game. And what I really enjoyed is the effect he had on the offense. Hands the ball off to Carlos Hyde, boom, Carlos runs for nice yardage. Passing, everything was working. We still had a couple of drops that made me mad, and that has got to be cleared up. But the thing was, things were rolling. We went 17 unanswered points to catch back up with the Washington Redskins. We were right in it. We were right there. But like always, something happens at the end, and of course, we come up the 2 to 3 point loser. It's time for that to stop. You know that's time for that to stop, and this could be the weekend. That's why I'm saying, all right, Cowboys, come on in, because we got to get some revenge from last year everywhere. You came into our house, you sat down and you occupied as many seats as we had. There was as much blue out there as there was red, and you beat us. How bad was that? So here, this year when they come in, it's another story. And like I say, you know what? Zeke, we got his number. You know what? I'm telling you right now, any team that comes in, any stadium, there is no dominant force in the NFL this year. Everybody can beat everybody, including the 49ers.
Ronbo!
Yo!
You knew I would be in to talk trash about the Cowboys.
I probably did.
It's time, Ronbo.
Yeah, it is.
Them yahoos know we owe them an ass whooping. Sunday is win number 1.
You think so?
Do cats like tuna?
Do you like tuna?
Hell yeah. And I'm gone.
I'm telling you, man, hey, Everybody in the Niner Empire is looking for this win. This is it for him. You know what, though? And I would say, be careful, don't get your feelings too high, but this week, get your feelings real high. The 49ers have got to be ready to rock and roll. I got somebody I want you to meet. This guy knows all to know about football, his history with, well, I'll let him tell you, all right? Let me introduce you to him right now. Niner fam, here we are, the beginning of what could be something new as far as the 49ers, week after week after week after week, losing by 3 and 4 points. We will see. And let's just talk about some of those issues that may be connected to the future. I've got a very special Coach Tim. I'm going to just call him Coach Tim. He can identify himself beyond that if he feels like he wants to. But this person has a big resume in football. I do love it. Coach, hello.
How you doing?
I tell you.
How's the family?
I tell you, well, it's okay as long as we're winning ball games. And I mean my family and the Niner family, because each and every week losing by 2 and 3 points is becoming a real problem. You know, because it leaves anxieties each and every week. I don't know if, Coach, I don't know if you're feeling like me, but you're feeling like next week, since we've lost by 3 points or less for the last 5 games, this has got to be our time, right? We have got to be able to win the next one. It only figures.
We do.
You know?
We definitely do.
I
got a feeling, got a good feeling about this week.
You know, before we get into this, though, tell us a little bit about your background, though, because it's so interesting as far as your coaching and that type of thing.
Sure. I started coaching back in '99, semi-pro football. At that time, our league was actually being visited by NFL scouts. Ooh. And we got regular visits at our team, the 49ers of Redwood City, by Bob McKittrick and George Seifert of the 49ers. I got to actually meet those guys, and of course I met Chuck Studley back then. Who else? We had Ray Rhodes. He was a good friend of our D coordinator.
Yeah, all right.
And met a lot of the guys from the organization. And of course, my background before I got into coaching was sneaking into the 49er practices in Redwood City.
Good for you.
They put this. I think I might have been the reason for this, but when Bill Walsh took over, not far into his time there with the team, he put up these green. You see him at all the practices now. Green plastic shields that go around the fence so you can't see what they're doing. In the beginning, they were made of a very thin kind of vinyl material, which I would, when I got off work, I'd be there, 10 o'clock in the morning when they were hitting the field. Yeah. And I cut a hole in the vinyl so I could peek in and watch them practice. And
that means you can say that you're the reason why that type of protection and security systems have been put up, because of Coach Tim peeking in way back when.
I was one of the first guys to actually poke holes in it and actually sneak in there and look at it. And then they caught me at the edge of the fence one time where the players go in and out. Yeah. And they came out, and here comes Ronnie Lott and Eric Wright and Carl Williamson and Dwight Hicks, secondary. Yeah. And every one of them high-fived me coming out of there.
All right.
And Dwight Hicks, they were known as Dwight Hicks and the Hot Licks, right?
Yeah.
He comes out and he says, you keep putting holes in that fence, man. They're going to put up a wall.
So if you didn't think they knew the whole time, right?
That's when I found out they knew. Yeah. I thought I was pretty sly, but I guess not. But anyway, I wasn't coaching at that time. I was playing a little bit of flag football.
All right.
I was still in shape back then. But a friend of mine, good friend of mine, he was a semi-pro player in Hawaii. And him and I were watching games all the time. And he says to me, man, he says, you really got a diagnostic eye for the game. You're calling plays before they happen and all this stuff. And he goes, you ought to be a coach.
And
this was round up. Well, just that before 2000, so probably early 1999. And him and I had been watching games and going to games and stuff for a long time. And I said, yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot, And he brought me out to his team, which was practicing at San Mateo High School.
Yeah.
And we had guys out there. Do you remember a while back, there were two brothers, they were twins. I think their last name was Moran. One was backer, one was a tight end. They were both trying out for the Niners.
Yeah.
In like the 80s, they were by that time they had moved the team to Santa Clara.
Okay.
But anyway, both of them, Sean and I forget the other one's name, but anyway, they showed up at our to play with our guys.
There you go. That's good stuff, Coach. Now listen, Coach, we have got a situation here now where we've got a new quarterback, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know what you saw and what I saw, and because I'm fully impressed with. I mean, Beathard is just, he came in, he was calm, cool, collected. It's as if he'd been in the league for years to me. And I don't know if that's what you see, but I thought, my God, is that from his pedigree? Is that from Shanahan's coaching? What do you think? What can we attribute that to? And I want to know, what could you look for if that was what we've seen already? What can we expect to see coming up next?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of film work on him, and when he was at Iowa, and because I wondered, like a lot of people, why Shanahan picked him. And he actually has the moxie or the traits of all the great ones. He's a baller. He's a gamer. I mean, he goes at it with everything he's got. And he's always been a gamer, just like the famous guys, Favre, Steve Young, Montana, Rodgers, all those guys. He has the same kind of qualities. So I think it's being coached. And right now, Shanahan is the best thing to ever happen to him.
As they call it.
I think he's going to do great things.
As they call it, and Shanahan being a guru and that type of thing. Some of the things under pressure that he got done. Now, he made that little mistake at the end of the game. Yeah. But then again, they were prepared for that. If your entire defense is guarding those sidelines, it makes it real tough unless the receiver's real crafty. And our guys didn't really make it possible for him to make that play. And I thought they should have cut across the middle of the field. Since that defense was set up right as they were, wouldn't have been special had maybe Garçon just all of a sudden cut across the middle of the field. I got a feeling CJ would have picked it up and he would have got that ball to him. We just scored a touchdown instead of going for the 3 points like we were trying to do. It would have been insane because if it fails, everybody would have been mad as could be. But it's just what I was thinking about. But he's got that guy. Here's another thing. Kyle Shanahan said during his press, he says, well, he did some things off script or ad-libbed. Have we got a guy here that's going to be able to think fast on his feet? Because you're mentioning some of the things from Iowa. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm right on board with that. That's, like I said, he showed that at college. He made a lot of improvisation out there on the field, and it translated into big plays. So I think it's going to happen at this level too.
Okay,
for sure.
Because he's got Coach coming up against Dallas now. Nobody has any book, and everybody's saying now, don't get excited about CJ. Nobody has any book background or anything on him. So what you seen yesterday was a complete surprise to Gruden and his people. It made me think though for a minute. That's a good point. And now even as we speak, the people in Dallas are getting all the information they can on him, and you already have some information on him as well. So I'm sure Dallas probably already got that by now and everything else. Are they going to game plan for him? And what do you say? Can they exploit any weaknesses? And you probably know his weaknesses as well since you've been looking in on him too. What do you think is going to happen to our boy this week?
Well, I'm pretty confident. I think he's going to do well against the Cowboys. He's got the particulars that you want. As long as he sticks to the game plan, and Shanahan, I'm sure, will prepare him properly. Dallas is really going to come out and they're going to play against the system that we're running. They're not going to really worry too much about Beathard as far as what he can do or can't do. They're going to expect him to stay in the pocket, and I really think he's going to run. I think he's going to get outside the pocket a lot. And I think they're going to move him around, too. I think Shanahan's going to do some rollouts, some sprint out passing, and a lot of play action. So it's going to be exciting.
That's right, because, could that be the reason why we didn't see Brian Hoyer wasn't doing that a lot? I thought maybe because, Coach, you got to establish a run game, right? In order for play action to work. We really, our run game is about as inconsistent as anything we do. Because 1 minute we're running the game and we're doing okay, not great, but we're doing okay. Then we go away from it. And in fact, maybe you might spill a little bit. Why is Shanahan going away from the run game as he does for sometimes long periods of time? We actually, Brian Hoyer got into the 40s, approaching 50 attempts, even last week. Is that something that's falling into place because of necessity, or is he doing that intentionally, or is he not happy with the run game? Where would you go with that?
Yeah, I think he's gotten away from it a little too much. Like from a coaching standpoint, I don't believe they throw enough on first down. I think that's something they should do more of. And because when they were doing that, they moved the ball really well. Yeah. And then they went to play action, and it worked. Yeah. Because they would mix in the run on first down, and then they come back and they throw play action on first down, and it usually got some pretty good plays. So I think Shanahan will get back to that because Beathard moves around a little bit better than Hoyer. Hoyer is more of a pocket guy, similar to – now he should – what I've seen from Hoyer in the past is he's been able to slide up in the pocket and do things to hit the receivers. But this year, for some reason, he's not been excelling at that. Wow. I don't know if it's vision or if it's his nervousness trying to make too much happen, maybe. I think that hurt him. Yeah. So Beathard will be more, I think he's going to be more within the scheme, but he'll, like Hoyer was, but then he's going to have that improvisation that's going to make the difference like it did in that game last week against the Redskins. So that's going to make, I think, for more exciting football and probably some more points. Yeah. I think.
And the Redskins defense, I think the Redskins defense is I would put it a level above the Dallas Cowboy defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they definitely got better inside linebackers and D linemen. Dallas they're hurting right now because their middle linebacker, Sean Lee, is out. Yeah. And that's going to be big, so we should be able to run the ball against these guys. And that's going to open things up.
Yeah. Carlos Hyde starts running. Breida starts running. Now we see the big bootlegs and play action going on, and a lot of things that we haven't seen so far this year. Because I was going to ask you next, what are you expecting from Dallas? Give me some of the pluses and minuses on our side of the ball, and then what are we going to be able to do, and what are we not going to be able to do, and then can we stop Dallas defensively? Because I saw better defense. Me personally, I thought I saw better secondary action than I did in the last 3 weeks. Because every time I saw Cousins, he was going through his progressions, looking downfield. You could see him doing that. And then he would drop it off to his check down, or he'd hit something across the middle. But he didn't want to go long on it. And when he did go long, Aldrick Robinson pulled it in. I said, hey, what's going on with our secondary? What were you saying?
Well, I saw one half of the secondary doing really, really good. Yeah. And I saw on the other half we were too soft. Like Witherspoon was playing one of the corners, and the completions they got were on him. Yeah. Now the other thing though was when they got in the red zone, they dropped Dante Johnson back in there, and he played that corner on that side when they tried to go up on the fade route, and covered that really well. So that was an improvement. That was nice to see. And I think Cousins was letting the ball go a little bit early because of the pressure. Solomon Thomas was getting there, getting close almost every time. Yeah. So I like this. I like to see that. That's where our secondary is going to be helped a lot, is when our pass rush starts putting pressure, especially up the middle. And the other thing was their backs. This is what worries me, is the running backs are having a field day against our linebackers. Yeah. When we drop down and put Tart and Reed down in the box, in that nickel or dime variation that they run, right. We can do really well against the backs because those guys match up. But when we got those two inside backers in there right now, I think Ray's hurt now too. He's got a shoulder issue.
Yeah.
Coyle just doesn't have the quickness.
True.
He's a great run stopper, but he doesn't have the quickness. So I think if they go to more of a nickel set and have that running back, because Dallas is going to be in single back, so they're going to have him spied. Because I'm sure they're going to come out. Now, normally Dallas doesn't throw to the backs a whole lot. They do the screens.
It's true.
But they don't throw, the crossing routes and all that other stuff that Washington was doing. But I expect them to do more this week because they see the weakness in our defense. That's what they're going to try to exploit. But if they sit there and try to run the ball down our throats, I think our defense is going to do pretty well against that.
Coach, we got Foster possibly coming back. Could he make a difference? Where you got Coyle, now you got Foster. Would that neutralize that passing game? Because you're right, I never see him throwing to Zeke. They try to use that big bad offensive line of theirs and just shove it down here and just smash mouth football. But with Reuben Foster back, Coach, you know what you just you just made me realize Dallas could be our victims. Just with those packages alone.
Well, if Foster's ready and 100%, I don't think Dallas will get those completions to the backs. I mean, you saw what he did against Minnesota. Remember in the preseason?
Sure. He was nearly picking off everything.
They threw to the back, and I mean, he cleaned the clock. So he is a great instinctive, quick linebacker, and he just has a different level of play than the guys we got.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he's able to go, that solves that problem. Really.
I do.
So we got a shot.
Yeah.
We got a real legitimate shot at beating these guys this week in our house. So I like it.
You just designed a package for me too that I like. All right, you got Foster back there. Let's go ahead and put Reed and Tart together as in a package. Let's get rid of anybody out there that's got slow foot and go. That would be that could be one of the best set of triplets back there in that area to patrol that midfield dead zone where things get done against the team. This defense could be. By this time next year, where do you see this defense? I'm just thinking, as far as secondary, and we're talking about the pressure. Up front is looking good because Solomon Thomas is getting better and better each week because he didn't have a preseason. So what we're seeing now from him is this preseason. So he's starting to warm up a little bit. And the big man, of course, DeForest Buckner is doing his thing. He's on. I mean, PFF loves this kid. They put him up on the top each and every week. But what do you think?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're getting, pretty much what Shanahan and Lynch thought would happen this year. That's development, right? Week to week development. Guys making less mistakes as far as their assignments and where they're lining up. That's important. I mean, I coached defense too before, and primarily linebackers, but I was responsible for some scheming and stuff like that as well. And alignment and assignment was a key part of what we did. Yeah. And right now, our guys are starting to get it on the defensive side of the ball. I really do think that. Now, when we don't get pressure, and I've seen a lot of holding from other teams.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking jerseys. You can show them pulling jersey. I mean, that should be called every time. But they're not calling it. The refs aren't calling it. Now, I don't like to complain about refereeing, but I do. I'm an old coach, and I'll complain. And you could see Shanahan on the sideline giving them the business, too, because he sees it.
Yeah.
So I think that is a factor. Not too much, but it's a factor. Yeah. And then the guys are developing. They're getting better. And I think this time next year, our record could very well be 4-2 or 3-3 or, 5-1, depending on how much progress we make this year and how much better we get in the draft and free agency next year.
Yeah.
So there are going to be some key positions that are going to be need to fill, but I think we still need a lockdown corner. We need a guy that can come in and take care of a side, and we can roll our coverage to the other side.
Yeah.
But that's something that it'll take care of itself. I'm pretty confident the team's gonna grow. And the fans got to realize the team came in this year with we want to be competitive. And let me tell you what that mirrors. That mirrors Bill Walsh in 1979. And I said this a long time ago. I said it back about 3 weeks ago on one of your posts, I think. And they actually came out with an article recently, I think it was yesterday or today, in PFF about that very same thing. They said, this team mirrors the 1979 49ers when Walsh and Montana were there for that first year. They were 0-6 to get started.
Yeah.
So everybody would have, were calling for Bill Walsh's head back then and changed the quarterback and all that other same stuff. But the people that were patient, let me tell you, man, it paid off big time, didn't it? So I think that's going to happen here too. I really do.
Oh, I love it right there. Hey, I gotta tell you what. Coach is gonna be back out here a lot. We'll be back. But we gotta stop now though, Coach. Give me the shout out. We just scored a touchdown and won our first game. What would you be like? 3, 2, 1.
Niner! Yeah!
Thank you, Coach Tim. You see what I'm saying? The man knows his football. In his history with the 49ers, I knew you dig it. All right, fam, I got to tell you right now, I did say I was going to tell you about who's going to win this game. I do believe, now we've had some replacements. We got Legerduzible. We had him before the season started and preseason. He wasn't bad. I was talking to other people online. He wasn't bad. He was okay. I thought he was okay. We got Tony McDaniel. He's the next Seahawk, which that could help us because our defensive line is aching right now. We lost Eric Armstead, of course, as you know. He's on the IR. He is out for the rest of the season. And also, I'm worried about Aaron Lynch, man. Aaron limped off the field the other day with a pulled, I understand it's a strained calf. Now, I don't know if he's going to be able to play this week or not, but I want pressure on Dak Prescott the whole game. So we'll see. They have not announced just yet who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. Okay, here's it is. All we got to do is stop Zeke. That's what everybody else is beating the Dallas Cowboys is doing. You stop Zeke and Cole Beasley. That is key. You take those two guys away from them, and they become normal. Easy to beat. We're going to score 24 points. Why? Because Carlos Hyde is going to get off on the run game this week because Dallas is not as good as Washington. Carlos did moderate against them, 28 yards, but he had a nice game as far as receptions go as well. So I look for Carlos to run. If Carlos runs, the play action will be in motion. The bootlegs will work. We will have the Dallas Cowboys on their heels. We're at home. Look for CJ. Oh, I look for him to. CJ's going to kick some butt this week. I just feel it. I'm serious. 24 points is what you're going to see from the San Francisco 49ers. 17 points for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, I said it. I will stick to it. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Red and Gold Radio. If you haven't got the Ronbo Sports app, please get that. You don't know what you're missing. You'll love Red and Gold Radio. We're moving now to Facebook on Monday nights. You're going to love it. It's raw. That's the day right after the game, which is everybody's got their emotions real high, real something. But there's nobody comes in on Monday just feeling normal. Monday, Facebook, you'll love it. Go to the app. You'll see menu, how to join show. All your instructions will be right there. I'll be looking for you in your face at your place Sunday. If there's any time I'd be in your face at your place, this is the game. The Dallas Cowboys, Levi Stadium. We got this, fam. We got this. Afterward, we'll talk about it, and it'll be nothing but a good time. Hey, I gotta be optimistic because I know this is time. We're overdue, fam. We are overdue. Sunday. We'll see you then. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on all social media. I'm Ronbo Sports. You'll see me, because I'm that dude who's talking too loud too much. Count me down!
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never know the secrets of